There are a few roles that the President of the United States can appoint that are of the utmost importance, that have access to critical, vital, wildly sensitive intelligence data. Information up to and including assets, human intelligence assets on the ground that are covert, that are placed, that are foreign nationals elsewhere who give us critical information about their governments, up to and including places like Russia. So when Donald Trump appointed Tulsi Gabbard to be the director of national intelligence, which is kind of the clearinghouse, the head of all the other intelligence agencies, alarm bells went off all over the world, certainly all over Washington, because Tulsi Gabbard, it has been suggested by many that she is a Russian asset. She's certainly, at the very least, a purveyor of Russian propaganda. Someone who, just reads the daily bulletin for whatever information that the Kremlin wants disseminated and then disseminates that information. And now, because of reporting from the Daily Beast, we're getting an idea of exactly how fond of Russian propaganda she is. And there's an absolute shift that has taken place between the old Tulsi Gabbard, the loyal Democrat Tulsi Gabbard from the early 20-teens, to now, a reliable propaganda disseminator. Here's the headline from the Daily Beast. Ex-Tulsi Gabbard aides say she was a devout consumer of Kremlin propaganda network. Quote, there certainly isn't any guarantee to Putin that we won't try to overthrow Russia's government, Gabbard wrote in a 2017 memo to staff obtained by ABC News. So it's not necessarily Daily Beast reporting. I was wrong about that. It's ABC News. Here's the article. Tulsi Gabbard, whom Donald Trump plans to nominate as his director of national intelligence, was a faithful consumer of Kremlin-controlled propaganda network RT, which is Russia Today. 3 of her former aides told ABC News. The former Hawaii Congresswoman's foreign policy views, which critics say have increasingly grown soft on Vladimir Putin's Russia, have led some Democratic lawmakers to question her commitment to the United States. Representative Jason Crow, who I believe was a special operator, I believe he was a Green Beret in the Army. I could be wrong about that, but he certainly has some military experience at the very least. Representative Jason Crow said there are deep questions about where her loyalties lie, and Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz, without offering evidence, claimed Gabbard is likely a Russian asset. Gabbard has repeatedly denied such claims. Gabbard's former aides, however, told ABC that the more plausible explanation for her outlook is her media diet. They said the former Democrat continued regularly reading and sharing articles from RT well after she was advised that it was an unreliable source of information. The aides emphasized Gabbard also would consume news from a wide range of outlets, including left-wing and right-wing blogs. The State Department has for nearly a decade deemed RT a Kremlin mouthpiece and has heightened its scrutiny of the outlet in recent years. In September, officials warned the American public that the outlet's activities have stretched beyond mere news. Quote, we now know that Russia Today, RT, moved beyond being simply a media outlet and has been an entity with cyber capabilities, the State Department wrote. It is also engaged in information operations, covert influence, and military procurement. Tulsi Gabbard's favorite outlet, where she got her information, her news. Earlier that month, the Justice Department indicted 2 former RT employees for allegedly laundering nearly $10 million to a plot that paid right-wing influencers to disseminate content deemed favorable to the Russian government. Gabbard quit the Democratic Party in 2022 and drifted into the Trump orbit over the next 2 years, finally going full MAGA by joining the Republican Party in October. her views, and listen, before I continue with these final 2 or 3 paragraphs, her views have shifted, and they're going to go into this. But the question, changing one's mind is not necessarily a bad thing. And oftentimes it can be a great thing. If your understanding of the facts change, or if the facts change. The facts haven't changed on Russia, but her opinion of them has. So what changed? Clearly, it seems self-evident that it's Tulsi Gabbard herself who has changed, because it's not the facts. Her views on Russia's incursions and attacks on Ukraine have notably changed from 2014, when she called for meaningful American military assistance for Ukrainian forces in response to Russia's annexation of Crimea, to recent years when she has laid the blame for Russian aggression at the feet of NATO and the United States. She's taking the side of America's enemy, a hostile foreign power, over that of the United States, and has now been named the Director of National Intelligence by Donald Trump, who nary has a bad word to say about the autocrat, the murderous dictator, Vladimir Putin. ABC obtained a 2017 memo from Gabbard to campaign staff that the outlet said lamented the United States' hostility toward Putin. In 2014, when Russian troops annexed Crimea, Gabbard, then a first-term representative, released a statement advocating for meaningful American military assistance for Ukrainian forces, and for the U.S. to invoke stiffer, more painful economic sanctions for Russia. Quote, the consequences of standing idly by while Russia continues to degrade the territorial integrity of Ukraine are clear. She wrote at the time, we have to act in a way that takes seriously the threat of Russian aggression against its peaceful, sovereign neighbor. What changed? What changed? Russia didn't change. They've, if anything, gotten more aggressive, more murderous, more willing to kill pregnant women and children. Because her opinion has changed. By 2017, however, her tune had changed. In a lengthy memo to campaign staff laying out her views on foreign policy, a copy of which was obtained by ABC News, Gabbard blamed the United States and NATO for provoking Russian aggression and bemoaned the United States' hostility toward Putin. You know who else bemoans the United States' hostility toward Putin? Putin. Tulsi Gabbard is a dangerous choice to be the Director of National Intelligence. And I think that's the point. I think Donald Trump is absolutely committed to the prospect of tearing at the fabric of American power, of American might, of American influence globally. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of people are scratching their heads and wondering what's in it for him. Is it untold riches? Some people have contended that Vladimir Putin could very well be undercover the actual richest man on the planet based on his fraud and corruption, killing of oligarchs who disagree with him. I mean, the most dangerous position to be in Russia is anywhere near a window above 3 stories for some of these people. And Tulsi Gabbard is apparently A-okay with that. This nomination needs to be absolutely scuttled. If Republicans in the Senate have any loyalty or fealty to the United States, they will see that it is. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, I would encourage you to do so. Click the join button below for $2 a month. You can support this channel. Independent media is more important now than ever. I think you understand that. You can also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there. I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another. Hey, I'm very excited. Many of you will recognize the phone, what I have dubbed the bat phone to Jesus, that I make fun of these charlatans and these grifters. And I got a lot of suggestions to make merch out of it. I make a t-shirt or a mug or some kind of a sticker design, and that is what we did. You can see here, it is a callback to the bit on the show. And if you want to help support the show and then get something tangible in return that you can hold in your hand or stick on your laptop or put on a mug, we have it on mugs and everything else, go to dollemore.info and you can support the show in this way. I appreciate it in advance. And also, you can just go check out the website that we're retooling all of the merch and all of the, there's ways to get to Brittany Page's channel and our podcasts and all kinds of other stuff. So anyway, dollemore.info will redirect you to that.